in. Almost in. What are we working on for today? Quiet. Yeah. Homework? Okay. Homework 2. I think we did like the first part already. Oh, and then I just like grabbed AI generated code there, but what I think last time there's a question about like how to get just this 2017 data. Let me go to the top, make sure everything is running. So I have transistor data all loaded into data frame, so pandas data frame here. And then when we get down to part 2, the second problem is asking about like what are the stats in the year 2017? What was going on with all the transistor data, just to give us a sense of like what's the spread of stuff happening. And if I look at just the date of introduction, there's multiple rows with the same year, but not all of them are 2017. So we need some way of like just grabbing that 2017 data. If I use like those equal, or less than, or more than, like all that creates true and false statements, and those are great because we can use that to grab sections of data. So if I say equal 2017, it's a whole bunch of falses, but there are some true statements, and I can check how many trues there are. Every false is 0. Every true is 1. There were 16 transistors in the year 2017. So I just want to look at those. Like, what are those transistors? So I'm going to get rid of that sum statement and ask for all the rows where that statement is true. This is a weird, some people find this syntax kind of weird, of like, I want the data of the data equal to that. But inside, really what we're saying is like, here's a whole bunch of true false statements, and only show me the data where it's true. And sure enough, I get a table. It starts at index 152, goes to index 167, so 17 values, and every date of introduction is the year 2017. And now that I have that, I could ask for like, what is the transistor count, or who were all the manufacturers? Like now I have like that subset of data where that statement is true. So that was something that came up in a different class, but I thought I would go through it. Just as a kickoff. Yeah, so it's the same code as that same stats in reading number two. The difference is how you pre-process the data and you wrote them out.
They set up an Excel file that has like the industry, but they didn't say which ones they're looking for. Actually,
Or I mean, it's semi-quant.
Yeah.
I have in one year.
Yeah, that's fair. I think I'll probably get like a email when you know it's convenient. I'll just go buy some shit. And I
But it's such a like 60-30. Like half the people that want to travel, but always legit. Like I talked to a cyber
Yeah, we're all real time.
yeah, exactly. And it was also, yeah,
yeah, I have two.
Well, I mean, it says biomed, like there are like biomedical things,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's a vague enough term where you know because you're deeply involved, but no one else specifically know.
Hey, maybe that could be like anything. If my company wants me, my company wants me.
Maybe.
No, I can. That's good.
Yeah, and like the next bullet does say like puncture vital tissue.
Well, most places,
Yeah, just trying to think how to. Anyway.
It should be, look at the announcements. It might have posted all the next thing.
yes.
I would be as well. I am missing out.
So for internship, like more functional, what were the gist of the functional? It says iterated to create a more functional STEM unit.
It was just that
Like
was
something
this
changed,
person,
right?
was this person thing, and it had this flex piece that clipped it into this demo unit with sensors.
Yep.
But at a trade show where this was getting used, up 200 times a day, and it was made out of an SLA print, which is a visual assessment printer. So I made it into a sketch. So just a name with an apple.
Okay.
With a name, so it would spring out the
Okay.
and then class.
So like more functional here is specifically like fatigue,
Yeah.
improve fatigue performance. Something
Yeah.
like that.
But like it was for review design, not for companies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's still end result is still like you went from how long did they last the trade shows? Day to
Less
day.
than a day.
Yeah.
Like, they would
So-
literally like flex fail.
Okay, so performance went from like improved performance from just one day failures to did they ever fail?
Not mine.
Okay, so then at least 6 months of use time, right?
Yeah.
So that's what I would specifically say. Like it's always better to quantify what happened rather than saying like just better. Things are
Yeah,
better.
yeah. Right.
And then like same thing, like multiple experimental setups. Like how many? Was it 2? Or was it 10?
There was multiple half big ones.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to put that. Like you'd be stretching to say that some in and of themselves were experimental setups.
Yeah.
Like combined, they kind of feel like.
But if they gave you even like pass fail data, set this up, didn't work, are we done? Locked in. So if it's dozens of experimental designs, and then the validation protocol design specs were met, like you can say how many, because there were probably a lot of things that had to happen next for that to change. You can say like all 52 design specs were met and exceeded. Something like that. That's always my advice to everyone is, it's easier to quantify your work than to say I'm the best. That's what I think at least. You can do the same thing for the next one too. Different than first, it's not second. Okay. Yeah, this is good. Over 30 members, weekly meetings, how many workshops? Is it once a month or like once every quarter?
It was like sporadic. Yeah, so.
Yeah, the first year's over 6 workshops. Your budget's good.
I might have actually changed those sections. That was like 10,000 or 15.
This one says 50.
And multiple.
It's multiple, yeah. 25. second person. You're the second person that has been in my classes not saying
well, because if someone genuinely asked me to do it, I don't really know how good I can do it.
But you've got like dozens of new books that you can code from and do something like exactly what you want, but you own them all. You open them, you can.
I don't want to, I don't know. I guess I wouldn't really want anything else, but I guess I could throw it on.
Would you program in C++? If someone said, hey, write me.
Really wouldn't want to.
Okay. Well,
But that was like
but it's on there.
that was like a main
Like
component
straight
of
up
not
like
making
this.
it just
Yeah,
sad.
this is like,
But yeah, I guess I'll
I mean,
like,
you probably don't want to solder all day either.
I
or
love that.
there's like this
Yeah.
much room.
Yeah.
in it.
Yeah, so like, hold your tongue. Alright, thank you so much.
Okay.
Very helpful.
Do you know the point of a resume? The goal is getting out there. No. It's just the interview. All you need is the interview. Only interview.
That man was talking over the amount of time. Also, I saw that you were like doing some of the walls as full of one
Yes.
because you see
Yeah.
design, and I was so
Basically,
hoping to get you to do your like actually the way to go.
So even if you do it especially, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
We're just gonna check it out.
That's like,
Yeah.
but you're not doing many.
Maybe they downgraded me. Guy.
I think maybe like you do that if you think over the projects, it'd be so good. I'm just glad that
They're usually pretty fun.
I'm happy that I got it.
Yeah, it's good.
Would have been.
You can sort of with how you do? Nice.
How is he?
So, yeah, I mean, I talked about like 5 minutes.
Okay, nice. That's the way to do it. Yeah.
Like you're doing one.
That one isn't actually like
I don't know.
a set of values. So the only
I
thing
highlighted the
is
ones that I'm gonna put up. What are you gonna create?
Yeah, like if you said ABB, or sorry, if you said MOS 2017 equals, yeah, that column of data, then you can run the same thing.
So I feel load in some sort of file before I try to, what is it saying, file?
Honestly, the dot data, that one's looking for a folder called dot data.
Okay.
Instead of dot dot. Dot dot is an actual directory that is one level up. So it's a dot dot slash data slash.
Okay.
So I can put new slash before there. Oh yeah, yeah, do it there too. Now try it. Now it's legit. Yeah, and then that worked.
Okay, and same thing, like, you're trying to read this.
Exactly. Yeah.
So wait, what's the difference again, sorry?
Yeah, weird. It's similar in Windows, but like really, for me, like I grew up with this. Like if I wanted to play a video game, I had to deal with it. I had to troubleshoot locations of files.
Yeah, right.
Like now, you just everything's sort of just like there for you.
Okay.
So like directory structures is always a dot to say this is in my current folder.
Okay.
And
Right.
dot dot is like one folder up.
Okay.
And you separate every folder with a slash. In Linux and Mac, it's always backslash. In Windows, it's forward slash.
Okay.
I know, yeah, right. Like I feel like I'm teaching people like
structures.
Yeah, so
Real time
yeah, exactly. So you can use the command. So the default in Python is that every time you run a plot, it'll close it with a six figure. MATLAB default is new figures. Yeah, so you can use PLT figure in between the two and create a new figure. And then, like, if you want them to be like sub figures, now you can do like PLT sub figure and start using magic. Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's right. Yep. Hey, Vansh. 7 people. Blowing up YouTube today. It's also, this is career fair day, so you should definitely take some time, focus on like what is the next step where's all this leading? What's all this training, all this for? So I'll go over a couple of things that came up as I was walking around. One was like how to find an actual file with, and this is kind of like command line work. So, and I keep forgetting that like modern computing doesn't deal with like file structures and organizing things. It's just sort of like files are just there. Like, and if you use an app, then the app knows where your files are because they're all app files. But Python, I mean, technically it's an app, it's an application, right? I guess. I don't know if Python, but it's a programming language that runs like programs for you. So when we're looking for a file, here, let's do this, ls. Like listing all the files in my current directory. And I'm gonna show / to say like, this is everything that I have access to. So if it's in this list of things, I can grab it. Like I can say like load hwo2.md, like turn that into a little data structure or something. Yeah.
What if something is not in there? How would we get it in there?
Yeah, so now like that data that we're trying to load in, it's definitely not in this folder. So I can't just say grab that transistor data, put it into a pandas data frame. So what I can do is look one folder up, because there's no other folders in here. Like I can't go deeper into my folder structure. So I'll take a tour. I'll go one level up. So dot is current, dot is previous. Now I can see, hey, look, there's, and in a second, here it's kind of hard to tell like what's a folder versus what's like files. Usually if it has a dot at the end, like a .md, that's a file. If it doesn't, it's probably a folder. Sometimes they're color-coded in this kind of stuff. But now I can see there's something here called data. So I can look for like, all right, let me see what's in the data folder. And now I start to see like a whole bunch of like CSV files. There's also some leftover like MATLAB files. I can come down and see, oh look, this transistor data, that's what I'm looking for. And here I'm just listing, like does the file exist? It's like, okay, it's there. And now head is gonna tell me what's inside that file. So the main way of kind of like grabbing things in other folders is like dot is your current folder, dot is previous. We could even go like double previous, like get 2 folders up. And let's do above. Here, this one doesn't make sense, but these are all different versions of this computational mechanics that I have. I can go even more up. Now I can see I've got comp mech, I've got dynamics, I even made this projectile notebook one day. Something's in here in data. I don't know what data that is though. Sessions. Whole bunch of expired sessions. But this is, so using these like dots and dots and LS's, this is a great way to kind of navigate around and see what you have access to, like, on your server or on your computer. Yeah.
What if you don't have access to it?
Okay, yeah, so then, so there's, this is how you can find like what is there, like does it exist? Then there are some cool commands like wget if I want to like download stuff, but one of the easier ways, so let's say file and open. Now I'm in like a regular kind of notebook file structure of like I can click on folders, I can click on files. Again, this dot will bring me one directory up. And then I can go into data. So let's say I don't have this transistor data. And I'll just delete it. So it's not there. So now whenever I try to run this, it's telling me that it's definitely not there. When I go to the folder, no matter what, I just can't find that transistor data. Now I gotta figure out like how to upload that file. So I'm going to go to our, all right, I'll go back to the website and in this repository, I'll go into data, come on down to transistor data. And this is all the transistor data here. So I'll download it and then upload from my downloads, modified. And then I want to rename it so it's so now whenever I say show me the head of that transistor data, it actually works. So you can upload files like into a Jupyter server or place. If you're running it on your own computer, you can just put it into the folder that you're looking for. But if you're on a server, there is that upload button to like get it up into the cloud. Yeah.
When I tried to open that file, it says that the permission is denied.
Oh, permissions denied. Oh, that's a different one. That's a chmod problem. Like change. That one, I'll come take a look. That's a weirder one. Because that one can be, yeah, that one I'll take a look at. That might be different. So that came up. That's your quick and dirty tour of like how to navigate file structures. And now you can like log into a server and navigate into the password file folder, and it's unpassword protected, and just like grep all the Elon Musk passwords or something. Welcome to the Matrix. Then, okay, so other thing, quick thing that came up was like, so let's call this like T2017. And you know what? I want to look at 2019 too. So what I did was I tried to run box plot twice. One for 2017, one for 2019. The end result was that I got one box plot with nothing else on it. So I can't, and there's other ways where I could show them side by side, but let's say I wanted two separate box plots. Like I actually want them to be new figures. Python default is that every time you run a plot command with PLT, it adds it to the same plot. MATLAB is different. MATLAB makes a new plot by default, and you have to force it to like keep adding to the same thing. So if I want to make two separate plots, it's a quick command, but it's plt.figure. And every time I run that figure command, it creates a new place where I can put a plot. So now I should have a plot for 2017 and an empty plot for 2019, which is weird. Maybe there's nothing that happened. No? Why is that? Well, it definitely made me a second box plot, but it don't look right. What am I doing wrong? Anyway, I wanted to just show plt.figure. That's how you get a new figure, and then you can run other plot commands in there. But it did something weird where nothing's there. Oh, maybe because there's missing values. Yeah. If you have missing values and you're trying to calculate like the mean here, well, mean worked. There's some stuff that works with missing values and like it knows how to remove them, and others where if you try to use, so box plot is one of those where if you have NANs, it's going to give you empty because it can't include the NAN as part of the data. So we need to remove those first. That's what's the problem. Okay, let me check on our mod, our CH mod problem. All right, we just have a couple of minutes left. You all have Python Jupyter experience. You can definitely put it on your resume. Maybe you're not like a proficient expert, or maybe you don't want to do it all. Maybe you don't want to do Python. It's like, I'm suffering through Professor Cooper's class. I'm doing it for now. I never want to see it again. Maybe, but you can do it. So, question is for you. Let's just make like a new notebook. So Python Jupyter skills. How do you convince someone that you are the person, like they need someone that knows Python, they need like a Jupyter person. How do you do that? Yeah.
This is not answering your question.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, like, what do you mean by, like, Python Jupyter? Because isn't it just Python?
Jupyter is one kind of like an interactive development environment, IDE. VS Code is another one.
But like, do you put Jupyter on your resume or just Python? Because couldn't you use the Python in not Jupyter?
You could also use like C++ in Jupyter, or you could use MATLAB in Jupyter. Like Jupyter is just a way of, so the goal, the reason people like put so much time and effort into building Jupyter and giving it away for free is that it's a style of coding called literate programming, where when you read the code and the explanations, they're all right next to each other. So it's supposed to be like a story as you see what it is. That it doesn't mean that it always is. You can write code as poorly as you want inside Jupyter or outside Jupyter. But if you are a Jupyter user, you at least have some appreciation for like code should be human readable, not like an advanced alien sort of decryption problem. So that's why I say like Python and Jupyter, but you could just say I use Python to do stuff, right? So what do you do in Python? Because you could do whatever you want. You can make like video games, you could, I don't know, do your taxes. Like, so how do you tell someone like, I have skills in Python and this is what I've done? Yeah.
Make like formulas and equations that can run by themselves on data sets.
Okay, so like automated engineering analyses, something like that. What toolboxes did we use to do that? NumPy, whoops. Matplotlib, that one we'll do a different one. Visualized and described. Numerical and categorical data in Matplotlib. NumPy. Now we're using like pandas, so we could write pandas in there. There's like a whole suite of tools and like all these different things kind of swirling around called SciPy. SciPy is also, it gets a little confusing because SciPy is its own library that we do have installed on our servers, but SciPy also includes like NumPy, Matplotlib, pandas. So we could write SciPy in there. But so the goal here is not so much like I know Python, but it's specifically what do you know about Python? Because there's a lot of stuff that you could do. Then the big thing here, this is what I tell people all the time, like go through your resume, and you're an engineer. As engineers, people are looking for like, how do you tell a story with numbers? How do you convince someone this is the job we need to do by reporting numbers? And you can do that right on your resume by saying like, how many notebooks did you write? It's like you've already done, just in this class, we've already done 3. Like we're working on a 3rd one, and you've evaluated, now you've gone through the reading of what, 7 or 8? So you've like evaluated and run 8 notebooks, like Jupyter notebooks. And if you've been in my other classes, then you already had like 25 because you already did this. And I can't spell evaluated, but spell check will get that for you. And created and created and shared. File. We've done 3 so far. 3 Jupyter reports for engineering analysis or data processing or engineering modeling. Something like, at least this is what I would do. Like if I was just sitting in this class so far, I could throw this onto my resume. And again, if your goal is to never use Python again, then yeah, don't mention it. Put other things there. But if you're like, hey, I kind of like this, I want to see where it goes, put these skills in there. Not everyone does this. Some people, they went through CSE 1010, they ran Python in a little mini environment, and they'll never do it again. But here you're like deeply working within notebooks and kind of creating your own, and you're creating and managing your own open source tools here, because this is all open source work. Every notebook you open, technically you own it. If you make any modifications, those are your own modifications. So, yeah. So let's say 8 open source Jupyter notebooks. So now they know it's even like open source. It's not just like little thing there. Sorry, I took extra time. Go to the career fair, get a job, change the world.